Hi, welcome to My Ag Life. This is Taylor. We're here today at the Advances in Irrigation Tools and Technologies workshop down here in the low desert region in Imperial Valley. I'm here with Ali Montazar, who is an irrigation advisor down here with UCCE in Imperial County. He just gave a really great presentation on adoption and impacts of irrigation technologies and water conservation practices in the Imperial Valley. Ali, welcome to the show. I just have a few questions for you on that. I'm curious, how have water conservation and irrigation tech evolved in this area of the state in recent years in Imperial Valley? What are some of the main transitions that you've seen for the crops that are grown down here?
Thank you. It's very nice to have you here, Taylor. I think not many changes with the cropping system, but we see some adaptation for different irrigation technologies and tools. For example, one of the tools our growers now they adopt is automated surface irrigation, which our evaluation shows they can conserve water, they can improve the efficiency up to 86%. That's my evaluation I talked about this morning. Drip irrigation our growers adopted for many crops. Some challenges, of course, salinity comes with drip irrigation, but new generation of sprinkler irrigation, I think, it has future. Some of our growers already adopted. There are some interest, and I think all these technologies, they have future for the valley and hopefully. But we also know water conservation practices always, they are coming with cost and they are costly.
Yeah.
We need acceleration for water conservation practices, both management and systems, but it also comes with incentives and needs for resources from the government agencies, from the local Imperial Irrigation District and other institutions.
Exactly. And the whole state needs to see advances in irrigation, but in the Imperial Valley in particular, some might say this area is a little more behind in adopting irrigation technology. There was a grower, an alfalfa grower from the area that spoke after you that said basically that the Imperial Valley needs to catch up. I just want to know, though, what benefits the current practices that are being adopted are actually having down here. Are we seeing good benefits in the crops that are grown here?
Well, definitely. That's a great question. I also mentioned in my presentation, some of our growers adopted, but we need acceleration in the adaptation. There is no doubt. Growers, they understand that the irrigation district help, they have some incentives. Our growers are on the right track, but we need some acceleration. Over the last 7 years, I try to quantify the impact of these practices on water conservation, on yield benefit, on the disease management and food safety issues. And we see all those benefits from different technologies. For example, we see a lot of benefits from drip irrigation for food safety, benefits for downy mildew disease reduction, for root rot reduction in sugar beet, for scalding reduction, for alfalfa. I think they are all benefits. All these practices, they have multi benefits. Water conservation is just one, and we see it. But there are a lot of other benefits. We document it, and growers, they are familiar with those benefits. It's not all about water conservation, but definitely what we learn, all those technologies and practices, they contribute on water conservation and yield increase. And of course, reducing labor costs, which is three more benefits or growers they are looking for: water conservation, improving yield, and reducing the labor costs. And all those technologies, they can help our growers to improve.
Definitely. And obviously, water conservation is a hot topic in the state, but it's especially hot here in the lower desert region where you have such a unique water situation down here, and that kind of makes its way out to the public and draws criticism. But as you've just laid out, growers in this region have been doing a much better job at advancing the use of irrigation technology and their water conservation practices. I mean, what kind of story do you think needs to be told on behalf of this region, to the public? Do you think the ag industry needs to do a better job at telling how these growers are improving their practices down here?
I think this is a very good question. Our growers already, some of our growers, of course, adopted some technologies, some management practices. Just last summer, more than 100,000 acres or growers from alfalfa and some other Bermuda grass and cline grass, they adopted deficit irrigation. I think with that, just management practices, they cut in some certain point of summertime, they cut irrigation, they conserve water. And we are working on that to evaluate the benefits and also pitfalls of irrigation, because you lose yield, you lose a stand, you lose those kind of things. But as you mentioned, I think in this region, everybody is aware of needs for water conservation. So growers, they work together with researchers and the district to meet that water conservation we need. And I think they are on the right track on those, but they need also some support. Any water conservation, as I mentioned, comes with cost and some negative benefits. One thing I documented, I mentioned it during the workshop, adopting any water conservation practices in the desert with Colorado River water as a source of water comes with some salinity issues. Mm-hmm. And the concerns we have in the future, how these water conservation practices may impact the salinity and productivity in the future. That's a concern, big concern. We are working on this and to see what happens. But I believe there is no other way. I think the more reliable water conservation practice is for growers to adopt new technologies. Management, deficit irrigation, perhaps it might help as a temporary solution. But adopting technology and tools are the main solution for our growers. I think this is what I'm trying to send the message to our growers. We need more adaptation and improvement.
Definitely. And it's a great message. Of course, what comes with that is, the growers need to see the benefits all around. They need to see the benefits to the bottom line as well as to water conservation, to the environment. And I think that's what seems to be the objective moving forward here. Ali, thank you for coming on the show today and talking about kind of the state of water down here and the state of adoption of these technologies. It's good to know that things are progressing, but that there's still work to be done. We appreciate you being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.